And now, through the magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future, Transformers Slag Podcast.
How we all doing, everyone? It is yet again another Transformers Slag Saturday night main event live podcast. Chilling like a villain, because that's how we're feeling today. This is the face that runs the place, a little unshaven this weekend. It's been a busy birthday weekend for the Proto Man, and that's who I am. I'm Proto Man. This is the guy that you listen to Monday to Friday, and this is going to be a Saturday night live stream. We're going to cover the little bit of news we had this week. We're going to take some super chat questions, and we're just going to relax. It was a busy weekend for me, to say the least. So I'm actually kind of glad that the news is a little light, so we could just kind of relax, speculate, talk back and forth, do some super chats, take some questions from the fans, and just chill. Just chill. I got a lot of stuff I still got to do tomorrow. I have a meeting for a convention tomorrow and a whole bunch of stuff. So let's just jump into it and enjoy the evening. It's nice to see everyone here. All the green names are out in full force and then some. So let's jump into that, shall we? Number one, let's talk about an image that has been kicking around. Well, it was a few images that were kicking around for about, I want to say, 2 or 3 weeks now. None of them were public. They were just kind of shared within private message groups in China and everything. And finally, they've become public. It was actually different images than the ones that you're seeing here. The images that were before were actually factory images. These ones are way better. So now that everything is public and everything, we might as well talk about it. So let's talk about the Transformers Legacy Velocitron Deluxe Class Clampdown. Not much really that could be said. Anyone who watched my individual segment on it already knows the whole story with what's going on with this character, who he is. You know, an e-hobby character from 2003 that was packaged with deep cover back in the day. Was one of the lucky few to actually get a masterpiece release and kind of update that internal story, because Clampdown is one of those expanded universe Generation 1 characters that e-hobby did back in 2003, along with a whole bunch of others like Sandstorm, like Road Hauler, like Road Rage. The list goes on and on. So we're finally getting now Clampdown. The choice that they're going with here is they're going to go with that brand new sculpt that we have for the Lamborghini. We might as well just show those other Lamborghinis, shall we? And by the way, thank you for all the birthday wishes. So here, here's an example with the two other examples of that brand new Earth style Lambo design. On the left, you have the Battle Across Time Lambo design of Sideswipe, and on the right, you have the Walgreens exclusive Transformers Kingdom Red Alert. Now, because Clampdown historically was a repaint of the mold that Red Alert originally was, which was the Countach LP 500 police type through Diaclone. And then, of course, later on, when they did the masterpiece version of Clampdown, they used the Red Alert sculpt, which was slightly different in terms of the head sculpt and little things here and there than the Sideswipe one. It only makes sense that Red Alert and Clampdown share a mold yet again, and that is the case here, as you can see side by side. Not much of a difference, really just some minor paint deco here and there. I think the only thing that's really lacking from this one as opposed to, let's say, another one is that there was red deco on the original Clampdown, but that really has to do with how the gang molding worked with the original mold, and the same thing when they kind of did the masterpiece one. This one, due to the simplicity of that Lambo design across the different types, if you will, outside of obviously, doing plastic that could be painted and then adding that extra budget to it, there's not much that could have been. I think that it's fine the way they did it. Obviously, the red deco would have been nice to finish the final design. But at the end of the day, we're finally getting closer and closer to completing all our Lamborghinis in our classics flavor, generations flavor, universe 2.0, whatever you want to call it, in that price point and in that scale. We're getting one step closer to that. And I mean, really, at the end of the day, there's also the variations of doing all those siege molds in those colors, in those characters, or the ones who didn't get the ones that we have here today, all of these Earth mode Lamborghinis. So we could go on and on and on. It's gonna be crazy. There's gonna be a whole bunch, and that is that. What's up, Josh? But yeah, it's it's pretty interesting. But again, what does this lead ultimately in the end? Is here is what's left of the Walmart Velocitron exclusive line to be revealed to us. We have still to see that Velocitron Deluxe class road rocket, which my hot and dirty uh digibash here, which is absolutely terrible. That's kind of how I assume it's going to look, kinda, I guess. Then of course we have the Road Hauler Voyager class, which again it's pretty obvious, who that's going to be based on. That's probably going to be a straight up repaint 100% of the grapple mold, so no surprises there. And with Burnout, the same thing. We got that Legacy Skids mold, so pretty much is going to get that black repaint with the little decos on the side. Maybe he'll have a new weapon, but otherwise, that's what it's going to be. And then, of course, the two that we still don't know 100% what the story is the Deluxe Class Cosmos. Some people are saying it's an extensive retool of Bumblebee. Some saying it's a brand new sculpt completely. We shall see with that, but that's definitely going to be the hot figure of that entire thing. And then, of course, we got stuff like the Velocitron Deluxe Class Blur, which we still really don't know. We still really don't know. Thanks for stopping by, Princeton. Thanks for stopping by. Um, but I mean that it is what it is. Like we'll see what happens with those. But again, I've said before, keep in mind about the case assortments with all of this stuff. The deluxe class case assortment is going to have 8 figures in a case, but the way that they're going to roll it out is going to be very unique in that there's going to be 2 blurs, 2 road rockets, 2 burnouts, but Clampdown that we just talked about and Cosmos will be 1 per case. And considering that, I mean, really, when you think about it, if you really break down the numbers, in the United States, there's only about, last I checked, about 4,000 Walmarts. If they only get 1 case, some of your Walmarts of deluxes, that's crazy. That could mean like there's only 4,000 of these Cosmos. Obviously, that won't be the case. But I mean, there will be low numbers of that Cosmos and Clampdown. So I really hope that people will get opportunities to get those too, despite the fact that they're 1 per case and limited only to Walmart and the limited amount that will probably be available on Hasbro Pulse initially, which I'm sure will sell out ridiculously fast. But just keep that in mind. I like to put that information out there for people just so they're aware of what's going on. Again, the Voyager class, it's going to be 4 figures and it'll be 2 of each character in Override, aka Nitro Convoy, and Road Hauler. And Leader class Black Convoy will be 2 per case, but it's just Black Convoys in that case. Just keep that in mind. Next up was something that was revealed to us through Weibo, the Chinese message board groups. A image surfaced on the back of a packaging of our Legacy Wave 2, bam, Core Class Shockwave. Yeah, anyone who saw my little animated GIF, you probably figured out what I'm talking about here. So we have a Core Class Shockwave that comes with an extra little accessory that is a satellite dish that looks suspiciously like pizza, or maybe grapefruit, cut in half. I call it the PIZZAwave. I think pizza just works well for him. But clearly, this little satellite dish accessory is again part of the whole idea of building weapons and building these giant kind of things. And I'm pretty sure that this is just going to lead into what's going to be probably the Energon monster, which is also a core class, and adding a whole bunch of pieces and everything together to make a giant weapon. And a satellite dish is part of that assortment. We have a super chat here from Edgar Mayoral. San Diego Comic-Con is around the corner. What would you like to see as an exclusive Transformer for this event? I would love a fossilizer set in Megazord colors. I would love a fossilizer set in Megazord colors, but they'd have to unearth that saber-toothed tiger fossilizer that we saw in the promotion poster back when Kingdom was first revealed to us. and then we could get one step closer to that. And I don't know who would be our Dragon Zord. I guess we could take Paleotrex and retool him again into some kind of dragon kind of thing. And same thing, we never got a Titanus, but either way. Who would I like to see? I don't know. Like so far, the only exclusive that we know that's Transformer related thus far is we have that Minimates 4-pack. That's the only one that we know right now, and we don't really have a good indication of how that 4-pack's going to look. I mean, the speculation it's going to be cartoon colors for the Megatron, the Optimus, the Bumblebee, and I believe Starscream's in that set too. Yeah, it's those four. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. SDCC back in the day used to be a great place for the big bombastic exclusives. Like you get these big crazy, like look, Titan classes were like SDCC exclusives at one point. Now it's not the case. You know, we used to get like even before the Titan class, we used to get that big Arc play set, which was like that cardboard play set that came with all the Dinobots from Age of Extinction, or we got, you know, SDCC Fortress Maximus or SDCC Metroplex or SDCC you know, Devastator and alternate sculpting. There was all kinds of crazy stuff, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, it's hard to say. It's you know it's still a year where you know the big V is still a thing, and my buddies at Symbiote Studios, you know, they went to SDCC, just the last one that just passed, and it wasn't exactly the most bumping and busy kind of show. So, which is pretty weird to say for something like San Diego Comic-Con that normally is packed to the gills. So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure maybe Hasbro is really waiting to do something. And again, San Diego Comic-Con also is waiting to do something that they could get a maximum crowd before they make a big investment for a really cool exclusive. And anything that we have gotten that really has been SDCC exclusives have shown up on Hasbro Pulse, and that's literally been how most people have gotten them. The Pit of Judgment was in a lot of ways a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but I'm pretty sure everyone who owns a Pit of Judgment got it through Hasbro Pulse. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, thank you again, Edgar, for the super chat. But getting back to Core Class Shockwave here, I just wanted to show you guys something. So, you know, the Core Class Shockwave, it reminds me a lot of the Combiner Wars Shockwave. And just to give you an idea, the Combiner Wars Shockwave existed before Core Class was a thing. It kind of was what we were calling Legends at one point. Here's Rat Trap, the actual Core Class, and there's quite a size similarity there in a lot of ways when you think about it. And when I was looking at that mold too, and when I was looking at even just here, let's just compare it here. When I was looking at this piece of back of the packaging, it really was making me go, huh, this is very similar to that Combiner Wars Legend scale Shockwave that we got back in the day. Even the transformation is very similar. Transformation is similar. The way the arms are stored is similar. It just doesn't have the satellite the pizza, if you will, the satellite dish. Um, but it's you know, it is what it is. It's pretty interesting. What was cool too, and I didn't show it in the image here, but also at the bottom of this image, they had a UPC code. And if you actually went to Walmart's website and punched in the UPC code, it would pull up the listing for this Shockwave. So it is a legitimate image from Weibo. I didn't question it because, you know, that they'd have to go through a lot of time and effort to make something fake like this. But it shows the MSRP is going to be 1148. Again, that's Walmart numbers, and it's legit. It doesn't have when it's going to be shipping, but it's going to be part of that Wave 2 core class assortment and legacy, which is going to have one Iguanus from Wave 1. So he's going to be a pack in filler, along with Optimus Prime using the core class Optimus Prime from Kingdom, which is also going to be one per case because he's a filler. So those are two guys that you could have got them already through other sources in the past. So they're going to be the fillers in the case. But the G2 Megatron is going to be part of that. We already saw that from one of the Hasbro, I think it was a Transformer Tuesday that we saw, the Legend scale. It's with the G2 Megatron colors. So we're going to be getting that one along with, again, Shockwave. So Shockwave Megatron are going to be two per case. The Legend scale, they usually get two boxes of the, not the Legend scale, the core class. They usually get two cases of this on average at a Walmart. So these won't be too difficult to get. But it is very interesting, the choice of design and everything. And I was kind of hoping they'd go for something really different. You know, like I don't know, maybe like, you know, Energon Shock Blast. who was Shockwave, or Laser Wave as he was called in Super Link, where he was more of like a laser tank, and do like a mini laser tank kind of thing, or maybe really do something crazy, like do a mini. Mind you, this one would involve car licenses, but do a mini core class alternators Shockwave and just make it turn into a facsimile of an RX-8 that's purple. I don't know. I just would have liked something that would have been very different because this is so similar to the Combiner Wars one that really we didn't get not too long ago. And that Combiner Wars mold of Shockwave, popped up many times over, in other kinds of forms. So, yeah, it is what it is. But, I love Shockwave. He's easily one of my favorite Decepticons, if not my favorite Decepticon. But I think I would have wanted something different. But I think maybe, they wanted to have the satellite thing. They wanted to do this again. I'm very curious what Evan has to say about the design for this one. Like, what's the story behind it? Was the original Combiner Wars something kind of the foundation and basis for this? I'm really curious. I'm really curious. I understand why they put Shockwave there. They want to put some heavy hitters in that core class price point because even stuff like mini bots now are starting to become deluxes. So the smaller characters, they which are going to be the more affordable characters for kids to buy, they should be iconic characters. So even though us adults, we're buying our deluxes, our Voyagers, and our leader class of those iconic characters in those high engineered price points, that kids could still have an opportunity to engage with the brand and get a Shockwave that could be affordable at $11.99 or $11.48 in this case with the Walmart prices. That's my take from it. But I still dig it. Still think it's cool. But I still wonder, like, what's going on with this? Like, I mean, there's something there. There's something there. Next up, we have just a little bit of a shattered glass discussion because this Tuesday coming up is going to be May 31st, and it's going to be our next Transformer Tuesday, and they're going to be revealing the next Shattered Glass character. Now, it's pretty much a given that it's either going to be some of the stuff listed at the bottom here, because we did get some case assortment listing numbers and stuff that were put out there. A deluxe class wheeljack, a deluxe class Voyager class Soundwave, a Voyager class blaster, and the Ultra Magnus we've already seen. We saw the Shattered Glass Blaster from In Demand Toys. Never had an official Hasbro announcement, so maybe they're going to wait for May 31st and they're going to show us this blaster, which would be kind of underwhelming. But the month is almost up and the slot hasn't been filled. And then when that slot gets filled, that's more so for a pre-order. So I get a feeling that's probably going to be what it is, but we will see what happens. I mean, when I did my individual segment this week, it was more it wasn't so much a speculation of what we were going to get, but what I would have liked to see. Just in terms of, I mean, it was obvious. I'm going to want a black Rodimus. It's just a given. Just get that cool black Rodimus. But you know, we'll see what happens. Again, there right now, like of that case assortment there that's on the side there. And keep in mind, everyone comes in their own standalone case, meaning that Wheeljack comes in a case of 8, it's 8 Wheeljacks. Soundwave comes in a case of 6, it's 6 Soundwaves in that case. Same thing with Blaster. They all come in standalone cases. That's why the numbers, they get smaller as you go up the price point there. But we don't know, like, if we're using this list, we still don't know what one of those characters could be. So we know that we have a Blaster, we got a Soundwave, we got a Wheeljack. Who's that fourth? Is it another deluxe class? Is it another Voyager? Who could that be? I'm kind of hoping if it has to be a deluxe class, if we're not getting Hot Rod, that's going to be obviously a Voyager price point. If it's going to be a deluxe class, it would be cool to see, that G2 sideswipe with the G2 deluge colors, the changer, and not G2 sideswipe, but Shattered Glass sideswipe in the G2 deluge colors. It'd be kind of cool. It'd be cool. That's what I think. That's my hot take. Could be someone else. Could be Jazz. That'd be Jazz. But we'll see what happens. Again, just a couple of days away from that. Maybe we'll get some more reveals, more so than just the Shattered Glass release. We'll get some other pre-orders that drop. But that'll be seen come a couple of days from today. So just keep that in mind. And if you want to submit your ideas of who you think the next Shattered Glass stuff should be, the individual segment is out there in the queue of the podcast. You could engage in the conversation there and share your ideas with everybody. and that'd be cool. And that's it more or less for the week. It was pretty quiet otherwise. Now, the only other thing is I I I don't know how much I want to talk about it. Um, TFCon is coming up, and it's still kind of 50-50, if I'm going or not, because it really depends on how well the world is in a couple of months or so. It's looking pretty good thus far. Don't get me wrong. Um, but there might be a little something extra special that will be coming to that TFCon. That's all I'm gonna say. Something very cool in figural plastic form that will be coming that I've been involved with a bunch of other people. So stay tuned for that. Let's put it this way. And anyone that's been a patron or a YouTube member for more than 2 months will get this thing for free. That's all I'm going to say. um, it'll be an extra thank you and stuff because I'm working out something where I could order an assortment of them and people will be able to get them as an extra thank you for your loyalty and for the take 10K subs that we're at. So that's a little extra. I don't want to say too much about it. Still very early. We still got a couple of month and some change until we get to TFCon. So I don't really want to talk too much about it until we get closer to it. Um, it's always good to save the hype for when it's close to the announcement rather than get people excited and then get them to wait all that time and they'll forget about it if anything else. But you'll see. You'll see. That's all I'm going to say about it. There's it's just a little something something that I want to give back to the fans, just a little something something. Um, so if you've been a Patreon or YouTube member for more than 2 months and you're at the show, um, you'll get it for free. 100%. You'll get it for free from me. No questions. Um, if you are not at the show, uh, and you're interested in the item, contact me. And just to save me some money, bro, let's work out something where you are, just pay for the shipping. The item will be free, but just pay for the shipping, you know? Because that would be broke. We have a lot of Patreon members, we have a lot of YouTube members. Um, just something to keep in mind. If you've been more than, and the reason why I say more than 2 months, because I don't want people just signing up for the Patreon and signing up for the YouTube membership just to get the item for free. I want it that, it's something where there's people that are, that have been loyal fans of the stuff and that have been around for a while. And thank you for joining Roman. Roman's actually been around for a while. He just pops in and out. Um, but like that's kind of something I've been working on behind the scenes. I want to give something back to the fans, and that's kind of been one of those things. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. That's something that we'll see. We'll see. I hate to make promises that I can't keep, you know, and everything that's been happening in the world over the past 2 years has put stuff totally out of my control. Normally I'm able to power through stuff and deal with a lot of things, but this has always been a big issue. So we will see what happens. We will see what happens. And I will be so happy to see so many people in person when I do get back to the con. It'll be cool. It'll be cool. It'll be awesome. We will see. We will see. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Roman. Thank you. But yeah, we'll go into some sponsorship. And also a nice little announcement also. Number one, again, of course, Symbiote Studios, who I've been working with very closely. The next plush of their stuff is coming out very soon. It's right now being produced in the factories, and it's that of their brand new Wheeljack. And so Wheeljack is on the release block coming up as the next plush from Symbiote Studios. We don't have a release date yet because right now it's being manufactured. When enough units have been put together, it will go up for pre-order, and then we will go on to the next one to reveal of those three. Now, I don't know who they are. You probably know Transformers more than I do. But I mean, that's clearly Soundwave, that's clearly Bumblebee, and that's clearly Hulk Hogan from the WWE, so. But yeah, again, Symbiote Studios, gotta say, they're the best. They make the official Transformers plush pins and t-shirts. Today I'm wearing their Grimlock, Wanna Munch medal. and I'm wearing their Megatron pin today of their 2-pack collection with the Decepticon emblem. All of that available on symbiotestudios.com, as well as their Catnip Bravo collaborative collection. Go check them out. And if you haven't picked up a giant Unicron yet to be your giant pillow on your couch, what are you doing with your life? So I heavily suggest you do that too. Again, symbiotestudios.com, or check the description below to check it out, yo. And more to come. Trust me, there has been so many that have been in development to come from this plush collection. So much cool stuff coming. I'm super excited to talk about it when that'll be public. Again, I like to respect the companies, be it Hasbro or Hasbro affiliates and licensors. We'll talk about it when it's public and the time comes when it happens. But again, if you want other Hasbro stuff, Symbiote Studios also does G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, My Little Pony, and Magic the Gathering. Those ones are all available on the website right now. I suggest personally of the bunch, get yourself either the Snake Eyes plush, because Snake Eyes comes with a little Timber Wolf plush, and I absolutely love that thing. And it comes with a Snake Eyes pin too, which is awesome. Or get those Magic the Gathering pins at the bottom there, because those are so cool. And get a whole bunch so you can make your own casting cost across your chest. And I would be 2 blue and 1 colorless, just to let you know. I'd be a prodigal sorcerer. And last thing I want to talk about today is so the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. I do a podcast with Hasbro's Aaron Archer, and we talk about all the different toy lines that were done through Hasbro and Kenner during the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. And we reminisce, we talk about the history, we talk about how toys are made, and we show behind the scenes kind of photos and footage sometimes. Oh, speak of the devil, there's Aaron right now. We have the commercials from those old things, really create a nice nostalgic thing. It's a visual podcast. So you get to see all this stuff. It's not just me and Aaron talking. And we are right now finishing up the final editing for the next episode. This episode that we're talking about here today is the DC collection of Total Justice, but the next episode coming up is going to be Transformers related. And it's a really exciting one. There's a lot of cool behind the scenes stuff and photos and footage and all kinds of cool things. Be sure to check that out. Again, the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. It's on YouTube. Just throw it in your YouTube search. Be sure to subscribe to that channel. Subscribe to the channel. If you're subscribing to me and you want to hear my voice more, there's another channel that talks about Transformers and toys and has my voice, but more importantly, has Aaron's voice, because Aaron knows way more than even I do when it comes to toys. So be sure to check that out. Again, the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer and Proto Man, I guess, but who cares about me? So be sure to check that out. Again, go subscribe and go check it out. Tons of content, long form podcasts, some episodes between an hour and a half to 2 hours. We got right now, there's 6 of them, and there's a lot of cool stuff. I'm pretty sure you could learn a lot and take a lot away from it. Again, the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. And that's it, really. That's it. The rest of the stuff we're going to do today is just primarily going to be just taking super chats for the rest of the evening, and just talking with the fans and stuff tonight, because it's just going to be a chill one. I had a very, very busy weekend. Yesterday was my birthday, so it was a lot of eating and it was a lot of taking phone calls, just from people that I haven't talked to all year in a lot of ways, and they kind of use that as an excuse to give me a call. It's like, if there's a good time to call me out of the blue and have a talk, it's going to be on my birthday. So I was super busy that day. Let's put it this way: getting work done and getting production done was terrible yesterday. And then today, same thing, kind of being able to go out and eat and spend some time with some people as kind of a, I guess, birthday. What's after birthday? Like Boxing Day for Christmas is, after what, I don't know, Christmas, birthday post, but post birthday kind of thing. Um, just kind of wanted to go out and do stuff like that, and tomorrow is going to be more of that, because I have a meeting with an anime convention that I work with, and there's pretty much talking about what's going to be happening in the future in Montreal with that anime convention. So I have a meeting tomorrow with them, and on top of that, we're then going to go for Chinese. So just to kind of have a late birthday with those guys. So all kinds of cool stuff. Um, get to see Lou and the whole crew and everything at Sci-Fi Anime, my old anime stomping ground, comic book slash anime store back in the day. But yeah, I just had it's gonna be a busy weekend, busy weekend. Um, Tom Laney wants to know nothing in the PO box. I have still some birthday presents to open today, which I will open them. It's the last of the birthday presents from Mikey and Louie. Supposedly, Michael Koo and Jason also sent a box. They just didn't arrive yet. So I guess maybe next week we'll have some late Proto Man PO box birthday presents. I guess we'll have. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. The mail today, we can't predict anything anymore to show up on time. But I always appreciate you guys when you guys send me stuff. I mean, I honestly, I don't want you guys to send me stuff, but if you force your hand and it ends up in my PO box, I really appreciate the fact that you guys choose to send me all kinds of craziness. Um, let's see here. Paul M with the super chat. Happy birthday! Thank you, Paul, for the birthday wishes. What was your fave of birthday cake? Mine was carrot cake. Really, the best birthday cake I ever had. I had two favorites when I was a kid. I used to like Black Forest. I don't know if people know what that is. Black Forest was a favorite of mine. But then recently, someone really. I remember I went to the opening of a toy store. There was a store that was like doing like their grand opening, and they had like cake for everybody, and they had like an Oreo cake, and it actually used Oreo cream in that cake, and it is so unhealthy for you, but it was amazing, that cake. And I was like, I want that cake. That is incredible. So I think one of my birthdays I got that Oreo cake, and I think it's my favorite. I mean, chocolate can't go wrong with chocolate, but I mean Oreo cake. Mm-mm-mm. That was really good. Really, really, really good. Really good cake. Thank you, Paul. It's weird. It's funny. A lot of super chat questions seem to always be about food. It's always funny. People love talking about food in the super chat. Um, let's see what else we got here. Oh, we got. I guess that's how you say. Oh, so J.R. Mina, who's from the Philippines, um, is writing in Tagalog how to say, I guess, happy birthday. So Mali Gayang Karawan Protoman. I'm sorry if I butchered that. That's my white boy tongue. Try. I could speak French. I could speak Japanese. That's my limitations, unfortunately, in terms of languages. A little bit of Yiddish and Hebrew and German because of my little bit. I have a little bit of a European descent too, and so I kind of have that also. But it's all French and English otherwise. It's all that kind of stuff. I'm a mix of a lot of things. That's why people can't peg what I am. My last name is one thing and I have a weird background. You don't need to be anything really though. You just need to be a good person. That's what I always say. Mm. But I guess we'll open up some stuff. One of them unfortunately kind of got opened a little bit, so I might as well just open up this one now. And I kind of saw what it was in a result. It's and I actually appreciate it though, Mikey and Louie, because I'm gonna need these at some point. But they're Transformer TCG uh, for the cards. It's the sleeves, and there's a GI Joe one with Timber and Snake Eyes. There's that connection. So these are really cool. For the GI Joe ones, I don't know what I'm going to use them for though, because like there is a GI Joe TCG. It doesn't exist anymore, but I don't know what I'm going to use these ones for. Maybe I'll use these for when I do draft with Magic the Gathering or something. I'll retire my Kill a Kill ones that I got many years ago for free. So those are pretty cool. But it got ripped because the way it was wrapped and stuff. And I was like, oh, these are clearly sleeves and everything. No, geez, I hope it's not more Funkos. Please, not more. You know what? Here's the thing, guys. Ugh. We have two left. We got two left. And these are the two that are left. Tell me what these are. Okay? Gee, what are these two? If they manage to fit a Funko in these, then you know what? They're the most impressive human beings on the planet. Let's put it this way. But what do you think these are? Take a guess before I open them. What could they be? Okay? Take a guess. With this beautiful Wreck-It Ralph wrapping, by the way. That is so cool. I love that movie. Let's see what some YouTube members are saying. Mine is German chocolate cake. That sounds amazing. You know what? You know what, Roman? Like, with TFCon, we usually have like a staff dinner afterwards, and I'm always big on wherever I am in the world, wherever the TFCon takes me or BotCon. I always want to have like the local food and stuff. And same thing with the sweets. Like, I never went to a cheesecake factory in my life until BotCon, and Cheesecake Factory, oh my God. I was like, there is a whole giant restaurant just dedicated to cheesecake. And Cheesecake Factory, what they had this banana fudge, and it was actual bananas, banana fudge cheesecake with like a crust at the bottom. Holy moly. It was so good. It was so good. Oh my God. Like, that's the one thing I love about that's the one thing I love about the States. Like, if you want to eat yourself stupid, that's the definitely the country to go to. Um, some people says it's Funkos, like JR. I mean, I hope it's not Funkos. And if it is, please be Transformer Funkos at least. Michael Koo says it might be Cliff Jumper. I guess Earthrise Cliff Jumper. Yeah, it's a possibility. Yeah, that the Earthrise, trying to, because I don't have any old packaging around me. I just have the Studio Series stuff because I opened up Perceptor recently, which, by the way, is a fantastic figure. And thank you, Mikey and Louie, for sending me that. Actually, let me reach for that one. One sec. Ugh. So I have it nearby. What a fantastic figure! Like, wow, I did not expect like how, like, we've had a bunch of Perceptors in a couple of years. What a great figure! This is like spot on smooth. You know, if I have one complaint, weapon's a little but nothing too major. It's a kind of a cheapy little unpainted weapon, but that's otherwise it's fantastic. Love it. And what I really like about him too, here I want to show you. If you open up his chest, he has almost like a sculpting that looks like it could have a matrix of leadership in there, like the two hilts could like plug in there. Just kind of like that. Nice little Arise Perceptimus Prime kind of moment. Optimus drops the matrix and Perceptor catches it instead. But yeah. David Cabal, what's up, Proto Man? Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday. Thank you, David Cabal, man. Thank you. Hope to see you soon at TFCon LA. We'll see what happens with that. Still so far away. Um, Now we have the big V, and then we have, I like to call it the ultra the Optimus Primal spots. Let's call it that. I don't know if YouTube is going to be picky with words that are being used, but there's also the Optimus Primal spots that are going around. So I really hope that doesn't screw up my plans going forward. I mean, it looks like there's always going to be an excuse for something, you know, to somehow prevent me from being able to travel. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. I just want to mention, because Claude, who's not a YouTube member or a patron member, but yeah, the best cake in Montreal is Rockaberries. Straight up, bro. The Rocka Brownie is amazing. Their banana one is amazing. I think it's banana cream is theirs. I love Rockaberries. That's a Montreal thing though. There's two locations to my knowledge. There's one in the West Island, and there used to be one near Sci-Fi Anime back in the day on Snowden, which I'm going to be nearby tomorrow. But yeah, thank you for all the birthday wishes, everyone, by the way. I see them. I see them. Trust me. Same thing. Facebook was bananas yesterday. Like, sometimes I say to myself, I'm like, sometimes like I want to turn off my birthday the day before on Facebook just so I don't have to get the millions of emails, you know? I understand people mean well, but it's like, oh my goodness, sometimes it's crazy. It really is. It really, really is. Um, but yeah, so let's open up one of these. Let's open up one. Let's see if anyone's right with their guesses. Let's see what it is. We'll open up this one first, I guess. We'll open up the other one later today. So you guys get to see it first, and then I see it afterwards. I got my finger under there. So here we go. Oh, what is this one? Oh, Wingfinger. Do not have him. Oh, speaking of getting a Power Ranger team, there is the Wingfinger. What a weird trademark name, eh? Did they actually trademark that? Yeah, they did. I'll be damned. Wingfinger. Wingfinger. Finger up the nose. That's another fossilizer for the collection. Build them all. Build a collection of fossilizers. Wing finger. Thank you, Mikey and Louie. Got a wing finger. So now that kind of gives us an idea. So is this going to be Kingdom packaging for the other one too? Or is it going to be Earthrise? Or is it going to be Siege? We do not know. We do not know. How? What kind of photography could I do with wing finger for the Instagram? Maybe I could do like some of the other kind of like pterodactyl characters like pterosaur and swoop and everything. I could do some kind of wing fingery thing. Again, my Instagram, if you're not following it, it's over there along with my Twitter. I post it there too if you're not an Instagram person. I wasn't an Instagram person for years. I had an Instagram account for like 6 years and I slept on it, didn't do nothing. We got a gold super chat from, oh my goodness, what a name. Anti de Kernacera Nadimi Cornacia. And I believe the MX is 100 Mexican pesos. Thank you for the 100 Mexican pesos, my friend. Please put a easier name for me to pronounce, and I would love to say it for you. First, happy birthday. Thank you, my friend. Second, where is my Legacy Dragon Megatron? And third, why Hasbro released 30th anniversary for Studio Series and not Rhinox Kingdom instead of the nightmare that is Kingdom? Well, the Studio Series 86 you're referring to, it is 30th anniversary. Well, it's Thrilling 30 RC, but there is retooling on it. It's not 100% the original Studio Series 86 RC. There's some different tooling on it that makes it a little better than what it was before, mostly from a modernization of articulation and a better car mode. So it is still kind of different. It's not really a re-release per se. To answer your first question, Legacy Megatron, that's leader class. That's going to be coming later. We probably won't learn about leader class Megatron, the Dragon, until probably Q3. So I'd hate to say it, but like August, September, we probably won't learn about it. Mostly because we're not going to see Wave 4 stuff until next year. That Megatron is Wave 3. Wave 4 stuff is going to probably be January of 2023. That's my guesstimation, more or less. And no Rhinox Kingdom instead of the Nightmare that is Kingdom. Well, that's their choice. I'm kind of curious what they're going to do with that Rhinox mold. Like every single Rhinox mold that we've gotten has always kind of been this difficulty of what do you do with it afterwards. And every single repaint is always another Rhinox. It's either like, let's do this Rhinox, that Rhinox. Even Armada had that, transmetal Rhinox as Armada Rhinox. Like that, there's not much you could do with, unfortunately. And where's my dark design Rhinox with like the silver accents and the evil and I know it'll be very similar to the original, but it'd be kind of cool to do that just to like, they didn't do it with the Generations one, the Thrilling 30. I'm surprised. Might as well do it with this one. Or retool them like crazy and create that hippopotamus transformer we've all been waiting for. How about that? But thank you for the gold super chat, my friend, with 100 Mexican pesos. I'm going to do well with that. Thank you, my friend. I just want to own 100 Mexican pesos. That'd be cool. I want to own all kinds of currency. Whenever I travel to different places, I try to have all the different money and stuff instead of my crazy poutine money. Oh, it's too far away. I want to show you my poutine money another time. T-Formers 2002 with the with the regular super chat, blue super chat for 5 bones. T-Formers 2002 wants to know, was there anything significant you got for your B-Day yesterday or even this morning? Hope the B-Day love continues all weekend. I always tell my friends, don't give me presents. And Jaws D didn't listen to me, and he still got me a present. And if I have to go pick it up tomorrow, I don't want to sound ungrateful. I don't want people buying me presents. Like I feel every day of my life is already a gift. I'm so lucky to have, great friends, great family, and everyone around me. Like, I don't want them to have to spend their money on me and stuff. It's different. But again, I still appreciate the fact that he makes the effort, so it's cool. So tomorrow I'm gonna have to get a gift. I honestly, the only gifts I got was food and money. That was it. People were sending me money or it was food. Like people like best example, a friend of mine baked cookies and stuff and everything. So stuff like that. Stuff like that. Muffins too. Probably gonna, again, I'm going to that meeting tomorrow. There's a bunch of people I know at that meeting that I've known for years, and who knows, I might get blindsided with something. But honestly, no TF stuff, no nothing really. No nothing. Because I really, you know what? I feel like, and I've said this for years, ever since I got the internet back in the day, and especially when I got eBay back in the late 90s, when you start getting all these packages in the mail all the time, every day is your birthday. You know? Every day is your birthday. Oh, what's this in the mail? Oh, every day is your birthday. So, but I appreciate the love. That's the most important thing. Cringe McCringle with the $5 super chat. They could try and make Kingdom Rhinox into UT back. I would love backstop. You saw on Instagram I did a backstop photo shoot. I would love Unicron Trilogy backstop. That'd be really cool. Let me just grab them from the display because I don't know if I'll be able to show them to you guys because sometimes maybe you'll be able to see it. No, the microphone would cover it, but yeah. So backstop. Look at that. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Let me turn it better. That'd be pretty cool. With put the reds and the yellows. You know, obviously it would have to be a different transformation because he's not going to have the. Maybe you could do something too. You could have like a faux key or something. But we will see. We will see. And again, shows how much I love backstop that I could easily get him from the display because he's right up front. I love backstop. He was such a cool design, and then they did a repaint of him in Universe where he had like silvers and blues. I love that. I love that character. Sometimes the small, lesser known characters are always really fun. And yeah, Evil Rhinox, like you said, Dark Design Rhinox, as I call him from the episode Dark Design. Surprised they haven't. I'm surprised they haven't done him yet. That's such like a no brainer. They always do like Black Evil repaints of characters. They don't want to do a slightly darker Rhinox and just call it Dark Design just to get another run out of him. I'm surprised. Alice Trapped with the $2 super chat. I put a fossilizer combiner in the Discord. Oh, I don't have the Discord. When I do the stream, I don't have Discord open just to keep everything running smooth. I'll have to check it out afterwards when I get back into the Discord. Here, if you want to know, if you want to run wild in the Discord and make trouble, do it during the stream because I won't be there. But that's a whole other story. Yeah, I have a Discord. It's for the YouTube members. If you're a YouTuber or you're a Patreon member, um, if you're a YouTube member, you have to contact me because I have to send you the link. Patreon, it's a lot easier to send the link. Um, but it's for members only. It's an extra thank you on top of the other stuff that I try to offer, because our Discord is pretty awesome. And there's a lot of cool stuff in there. You get deals, you get a whole bunch of things. If you pay attention to the Patreon listener questions, you'd know about the Discord. It's been around for how long? I think we've had for 2 years now. The Discord. It's pretty hype. Pretty hype. Michael Koo says Dark Rhinox will probably happen when Hasbro does Shatterglass Beast Wars. Possible, possible, possible. I would like to see Shattered Glass Beast Wars, um, but it's just I feel like their Shattered Glass stuff right now has been leaning hard on the G1, which is it's a typical Hasbro thing. Unfortunately, they really like their G1. They gotta lean on that G1, you know. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I would like to see a lot, like man, if they do Big Convoy and then you could do Shattered Glass Big Convoy and all that crazy stuff. That'd be so cool. Oh God, like that's Bloody Tusk Convoy over there, the Nemesis Prime one. What a great mold. What a fantastic mold. Easily top 5 Beast Wars molds from back in the day. The first guy with the super chat. First guy, I guess that's Jack255 with the 5 super chat. Happy birthday, Proto. Thank you. The first guy. It's funny because Proto means to be first too. So happy birthday, Proto. Are you a fan of the Gundam franchise and their Gunpla? And if so, what is your favorite series? First guy, I'm a ridiculously huge fan of Gundam. I actually participate in the World Gundam Gunpla Championship every single year. I actually have my little badges and everything. If you go on my, again, Instagram, if you scroll down quite a bit, you'll see some of the years that I participated and I was in person and everything with those. I have been building Gundam model kits since 1997. The first kit I ever built that was Gundam related, because I built a lot of Macross kits before that. But the first ever Gundam kit I ever built was the Epion from Gundam Wing. And then Gundam Wing became mainstream like 4 years later, which was kind of ironic. But then my favorite Gundam series of all time, if I had to pinpoint it, probably 0083 from UC Century. 8th MS is a pretty close second. Really like that too. I like UC Century stuff. Gundam Wing is really good also. G Gundam is really cool too. They're all great. I even look even Gundam Build, with those are all awesome too. My favorite characters, Chara's Namble is awesome. Duo Maxwell from Gundam Wing is awesome. I really like Lieutenant Burning from 0083. He was like a badass character. Rest in peace. Spoiler for a 30-year-old anime. Huge Gundam fan. Huge, huge, huge Gundam fan. I can't stress enough. I used to buy so many kits back in the day when I had more time and a lot more fluid money. Again, the anime convention that I'm having a meeting for tomorrow has a huge Gundam display in their head office. Like, love it, love it, love it, love it. But I'd have to say, if I had to pick one, 0083. 0083 has amazing music, amazing characters. I like that it's a UC Century series that doesn't have new types in it. So that kind of is like everyone is like grunts, like just crazy, like, awesome ground action. Some people compare it, they say it's the Top Gun of Gundam. And considering how Top Gun is now topical right now because of a new movie, um, yeah, I agree. Absolutely great series. I would always say, like, I don't say start with 0083, but it's definitely my favorite. I know some people don't like it, but that's just my personal preference. Doesn't mean I think it's the best of all time and anyone can't say otherwise. It's just my personal favorite. But thank you for the question. Good question. Good question. Giant robots, nonetheless. Tom Laney, Bloody Tusk is going around slaughtering fleshling robots don't have blood. Yeah, I know. Well, maybe he's it's true because he was part of the Universe 1.0 series, which was Unicron and fighting other dinos and other beasts and stuff and other robots. So there would be no blood. It's true. You're right. That's true. Never thought about that. Unless, because he's Nemesis Prime and he was a Unicron's herald, so maybe he sent him to a planet where there was some fleshy guys that he impaled with his bloody tusks. Those bloody, bloody tusks over there. Alice Trap, my first Gundam kit was the Angel Wing Gundam, the 1x144 scale. So you probably got, if it was a 1x144, it was a regular type because they didn't have high grade for the 1x144s back then yet. And you're referring to the Wing Zero Custom, which came from Endless Waltz back in the day. Poor Patrick. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of really good Gundam series. When you're talking a franchise that's been around since 1979 and consistently has had multiple different series every year, multiple different manga stories and short stories and novels and visual novels and light novels and all kinds of stuff. There's so much. I mean, even from the manga stuff, there was one called École de Ciel, I think it was called, which was a Gundam story based in Quebec, which is where I'm from. So that was pretty cool. And that was with the Zeons, where because apparently, like in the future, the Zeons kind of took over the province of Quebec. So if you're from Quebec and you're a Canadian, hey, there's our representation in the Gundam universe. JR Mina says my favorite Gundam series is G Gundam. G Gundam's really good too. G Gundam, I always say it's Street Fighter meets Gundam. That's probably the best way to explain it to people, and it's really good. It's really, really, really good. I like G Gundam a lot. One of my favorite female Gundam characters come from that, which is the good old Noble Gundam. with Reina. So and everything. Love it, love it, love it. Good stuff. Let's see what else do we got here. And the real life scale Gundam. Well, that's in Japan. One day I'll check out that one. They have the unicorn one right now, but they're working on that double O, excuse me, the RX-78 version. Tom Laney, with Hasbro doing these Diaclone colors, is there any good media or pictures for old Diaclone product to get reference, almost like to tease what's to come? Um, the best I would suggest is probably catalogs because they never really did. Because I have a lot of reference books. They never really did a good, like 100% complete Diaclone reference guide. Once in a while, you'll have a book and they'll talk about specific releases or something, but they never did a really good one. The closest they had, they did a kid's book back in the day that was made out of like a stronger corrugated cardboard, which they commonly did back in the day, even with the Transformer ones, that covered like half of the car robot Diaclone stuff, which is like the Kojin Ono era of Diaclone stuff, the kind of the first half of it, but it's still so much is missing. I'm pretty sure one day Million Publication and stuff they might do one. Like right now they have Diaclone Reborn, so there's be a good time, be a good time to do it. But there is no good reference online. Online, I would suggest just type Diaclone catalogs, and a lot of those catalogs have everything in them except for the unreleased stuff, like Superion. The Scramble City idea was supposed to be a Diaclone thing first, and kind of the prototype of what would have been Metroplex or Scramble City. Where we at? Where we at? Gundam Hathaway is set in the Philippines. Haha, Philippines represent. That's true. There's Gundam Hathaway. There was also Gundam Origins with Char, which was, what was that called? Blue Eyed Char. That was a really good one too. That was like the multiple movies. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. Alice Trepp says, I quit getting Gundam because Master Grade Suzabi was too hard. Is too much in today's market. Yeah, no, the Suzabi, I wanted to get the perfect grade Suzabi, and I was like, yeah, that's forget about it. And the Dendrobian, and if anyone knows what I'm talking about, that's like the USS flag of Gundam. Um, Lizard Sphere X, I thought G Gundam was what if Ken Ishinawa did a Gundam series? A little bit. And there's a little bit of Kamen Rider flavor in there and stuff. Yeah, I guess. I consider it more like Street Fighter just because you have the different countries represented and stuff like that. We got another gold super chat for 100 Mexican pesos from, I'm going to try it again, Anti de Queracera ni me conocira. Maybe with Rhinox, they give us the Polar Claw. Ooh, that'd be cool. That they promised us. Second, what's funny too? I'll mention it afterwards. Secondly, why does it seem like Hasbro hates Prime and animated designs? Personally, they are my favorite, along with Beast Wars. Well, I don't think they hate Transformers Prime. I mean, we just got a whole bunch of stuff that just got characters. I mean, we got Bulkhead, we got RC. They're Knockout and then Knockouts in the RED line too, and RED has other Transformer. I do not think that they hate Transformers Prime. If anything, it's the opposite. They love Transformers Prime. Hell, they did the reissues too of the Megatron and the breakdown. But animated, I think you have a case there. I don't know why they're ignoring animated. I really don't. I really, really don't know why they're ignoring animated. As for Polar Claw being linked to Rhinox, fun fact, when they did the commercials back in the day of Polar Claw versus Inferno, they used the Inferno footage for no, it was Polar Claw versus, excuse me, I take that back. Polar Claw versus Scorponok. They used the CG footage from the show for Scorponok for his transformation, and they used Rhinox for Polar Claw's transformation. So there's an interesting connection there between Rhinox and Polar Claw. It's true, you could probably work something out. He wouldn't have his bat gimmick anymore unless they really retool something that he'll have his little bat thing. But I could see that. I could see that. The way the chest opens up, you could create that faux chest that could look like Polar Claw's full, like chest that he has. How would he have? Which face would he have though? Would he have that demonic mutant head face in red, or would he have his face that he has? He has that big grin face that he has with his regular normal face. I would love Polar Claw. Polar Claw is definitely like a top 5 character I'd love to see get redone again. Him and I always say Wolfang and K9. Those dudes need to get redone. Would love it. Oh no, Ken is Getter. You're right. Getter Robo is every hot-blooded, go Nagai kind of thing. It's always yelling attacks and Bresto fire in the case of Getter Robo. The only difference is Getter Robo is combiner designs that are absolutely impossible. And what's it called? Sovchikokin has busted their brains trying to make those designs a reality as best they could without sacrifice. Um, Someone translated that earlier. Oh, his name? Oh, I missed it. Damn. Because they got something planned for animated big. I would hope so. I would hope so, Tom. I would hope that they have something planned. Like animated is probably without a doubt after Beast Wars, probably the most beloved Transformer series that isn't G1. Like if I had to really in terms of the numbers of fans, like I feel if the second you put G1 aside, I feel that Beast Wars is number 1 in terms of loved by the fandom, and animated is number 2, and then Transformer Prime is moving up because of the younger demo that grew up with it. But man, animated, I don't know how it just hasn't gotten it. I feel I don't know, I feel it's intentional. Maybe because those designs are so unique compared to what we have right now. I mean, I could see them taking that RC that we have, the legacy one, and doing a modernized, you know, Prowl from animated. But would be even better? Just going out and buying animated Prowl, who is plentiful and probably considering the modern MSRP today, animated Prowl back in the day was $9.99 at MSRP. He was $10 American. If you bought animated Prowl today off of eBay, you'll probably get him for $20 American, double what he was back then. But that still would probably be cheaper than what animated RC is. Not animated RC, Legacy RC, which would be an animated Prowl if they retooled it in the modern market. Because here's a reminder, the MSRPs today. We're talking $24.99. So whatever you would pay for animated Prowl right now, which is a fantastic toy, by the way, complete. There's your ceiling. Just don't pay more than $26 or 25, excuse me. But yeah, that's a whole other story. That's a whole other rant. The craziness of the prices right now. Tom Laney, I just went to a convention today and they had a Jetfire, Jetstorm, the animated combiners for 75. Was it mint and box complete? Complete loose for 75, and if it doesn't have the pack-in comic book that it came with, which was issue number 4 of the IDW books, I don't know about $75. That's a little much. Is he really going for that much now? Am I really out of touch with animated prices? Because I know at one point the later wave stuff was going for pretty decent money, like Samurai Prowl and Blur and a few of the others. And I think Roadbuster in Ultra Magnus, that was going for decent cash too. But I don't know about the Combina team. Tom Laney, yeah, I like how the figures had curves, them real feel. No, they were fantastic. They were high budget too. Lizard Sphere X, I know I'd love to grab some new Transforming Getter figures. The 2 figures I got are from the Shin anime series. Shin was the best one, in my opinion. Also had great music. Shin Getter. Fantastic music. Lizard Sphere X, I also wonder if there are any Getter homages in the Transformer series. No, but if anyone who knows Steel Jeeg, which is kind of in that same, I guess, bubble, Steel Jeeg, it's actually the same continuity because they had a crossover. They did a crossover mini series once. Steel Jeeg and Wheeljack, they got that connection. in terms of chicken came before the egg or the other way around. They literally came out around the same time in terms of development. Lizard Sphere X. Oh, upgraded Prime Optimus. Sorta looks like a Shin Getter. Like a little bit. I could see that. A little bit. Loose Complete. Didn't see the comic. See, I don't know. I have to look up the prices for some animated stuff then, because I'm really curious. Because like a lot of those Walmart exclusives that came after the series was over, like Hot Rod and RC, or I think it was called Rodimus Minor at the time. The Ironhide and the Cybertronian Ratchet. A lot of those they kind of went down in value over time, but maybe they went back up. Maybe people are getting back into it. JR Mina, TF Animated Toys, those were the days when figures were both cheap and plastic quality was great. Oh man, plastic quality was A1 back in the day. It was fantastic. But that was like 2008, 2009. Like they were killing it back then. And the toys were awesome because they nearly matched the animation model. Yeah, they were like animated was and what's great about animated too, like it's gonna be hard to see. There's all the animated stuff there. There's the whole collection. Even like the Bumpin' Battlers and even the I think that's the Cyber Stomper Bumblebee, both versions. Animated was just one of those cases where, you know, I'll move my Prima in the way. Animated was just one of those cases where it's a small series too. Like it's tiny. Like this is all of animated. Every single animated toy in the Western world. There's some Bakon stuff in there too because I had doubles, but this is all animated. Where like Cybertron above it goes all the way to here. This is Super Link. It goes all the way to here. Animated fits nice and comfortably, including its gimmick stuff. Very tight, very small line, and that's every you know activator animated, some Japanese PVC stuff, McDonald's stuff. There's even a prototype in there. There's the prototypes. So animated is a very short line, easy to collect, and hopefully affordable for people. Hopefully, I hope so. I hope so. Where are we at? Where are we at? For me, Unicron Trilogy and animated were the golden era for TFs. Well, Unicron Trilogy was during that time when Brian Goldner put out the message to everyone in Hasbro. We're reinventing Transformers, and we're going to be talking to film studios while reinventing Transformers. So like Unicron Trilogy was like the initiative to like save the brand. And it's not just Unicron Trilogy, because if you look at like, between 2001 and let's say like 2006, that was at a time when Hasbro was like, we're going to reinvent GI Joe, and they did like the GI Joe versus Cobra with those weird CG cartoons that were direct to DVD. Like there was a huge initiative to kind of reinvent all their brands, and at the same time Hasbro had Beyblade. Beyblade was just coming out at the same time, which was doing very well for them. Hasbro still had the Pokemon license, so they were doing gangbusters with Pokemon. The early 2000s was a really good year for toys and Hasbro in general. I think the only negative was they lost Batman, and that was the only thing. They didn't have Batman anymore. So they from Kenner to Hasbro, they lost that, and they were going through the Star Wars prequels, and toy sales were not doing good with that either. Anything that was old school Star Wars was doing good, but the prequel toys were not doing good. Tom Laney, at the convention, I was happy I picked up a Grimlock Kingdom Dinobot. Studio Series Grimlock Leader Class, Kingdom Dinobot Voyager, and a Combiner Wars Blastoff with Shakedown stickers, all for $90. Wow, so. I mean, the Grimlock, you're already talking like $50. The Dinobot, that's another 30. So you're already at like 80 there. And then the Combiner Wars Blastoff, which I believe was like 20 at the time, which was like I think that was an Amazon exclusive. So you saved some money there, that's for sure. Saved some money, and again, I'm not even talking about taxes. Taxes would then bump it up even more. Michael Koo with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Michael. Do you think Hasbro will ever do Transformers based on 3H comics? Well, I mean, they kind of did already. Um, when you think about the 3H comic books, you're talking like let's say the Universe stuff, like Transformers Universe was a lot of the 3H comic books. Primal Dawn was kind of like a 3H kind of idea. And I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, one 3H idea was Sandstorm, aka that orange Scorponok. That was a 3H idea back in the day in the early BotCon days. So I think for sure, I think we'll see way more of that. Uh, Sandstorm, the Beast Wars Sandstorm, was a 3H idea that was fleshed out through a text story that was done with Simon Furman that was sold at BotCon that year, which I believe was, correct me if I'm wrong, 1997? No, 98. It was 98, I believe it was. Those were the years before I went to BotCon. I started in 2001. So unfortunately, I'm a little loose on those years of who was what and what was who. Once again, with the Mexican pesos for 50 Mexican pesos this time around, from Anti, as I will call it for short for now. Who's the biggest TF animated fan of all time? You or Gavin from TRDQ? I have no idea who TRDQ or Gavin is. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest animated fan. I just have I have almost every animated toy. I will say that. But I mean, I kind of have almost every everything. So, um, I don't know who's the biggest animated fan. I'm pretty sure there's people who like live and breathe animated. That's for sure. I mean, I have a like the ant like let me show you some really cool animated stuff. Grab I think it's this one. Oh, it's this one. Is the one? Oh yeah, I think it's this one. Let me just double check. Okay, so here, so like let me show you with cards. You'll get it. You'll dig these. There's like the animated arcade game back in the day. It's gonna be hard to show you guys. It's a big, heavy book. So the animated arcade game back in the day, you got trading cards every time you played the arcade game. So like I'm trying to collect them all. It's really tough, but every time you played the game, you got an arcade card, and there was tons of cool designs with these. Like see like a blue RC, which was Chromia. You know, there was the where's the pink? Here the pink Black Arachnia, Alita. You know, there were so many, and see like you can even see this like a pink Black Arachnia there. Like I have tons of these, tons, whole book of them. So like I'm pretty hardcore on animated. I will agree, but I don't know. I wouldn't call myself the biggest fan. If I am the biggest fan, it was completely unintentional. Wasn't trying to do that. Um, let's see. But yeah, like I might as well since I have the book out. Here's any other cool stuff I could show you guys. This is one I have like three huge books. This one I just labeled it G1, but it has every. This book is G1 to animated of trading cards and stuff. Obviously, I think there's some Unicron trilogy in here too. It's all just cards and stickers. You have like old stickers from back in the day, and that was the alternators sticker that you got. Old Japanese cards, old Japanese promo stuff, e-hobby stuff like the e-hobby exclusives or old promo cards. Let me jump ahead here. So you got Beast Wars and Japanese stuff, and of course Armada, every Armada trading card, all the Armada trading cards, all the Super Link, aka Energon trading cards, and it's a crazy book. Nice big thick book of all kinds of craziness. One day, what I'd like to do when I'm gonna try to do like a two camera setup in the future. I'm gonna have a desk like right here, and I could kind of like show you guys stuff. We'll have a second camera, and we could go through a bunch of crazy things and show you all that stuff. I'll take John's super chat, and then we're gonna open up the second one here. This is the last present of the Mikey and Louie box. John Mayer with the gold super chat. Thank you, John Mayer. One, I signed up for the Patreon. Thank you, John, for signing up. I'll contact you and because when you sign up for the Patreon, you get your name in the end credit scroll and you get a whole bunch of stuff. So I'll contact you and we'll work everything out after the stream. Usually after the stream ends around 10 o'clock, I have to like just do some stuff on the back end with YouTube for the upload so people who missed it could watch it, and then I'll get to you afterwards. Got a busy day tomorrow. I got to wake up early. Number two, huge fan of Jazz. He doesn't seem to appear much in media anymore. Do you think it's because he has his character is too hard to lock down without Scatman and his personality. No, I don't agree. Number one, Jaws D, who was my co-host for the longest time, is a ridiculously huge jazz fan. And the conversation that we always have, if you want to know who Jaws D is, look at any of the top 5 Transformers of the year that I do. It's the featured video of the channel. Jaws D is the fellow, little black fellow that I love so dear, that I've known since I was in grade school, best friend of mine. Um, but me and him, we talk about it all the time, and he's like, "Man, like they don't make enough jazz figures." I don't think it has anything to do with Scatman, because I think I think that everyone who has tried to do his voice in the past, with the exception of one video game, has done a pretty good job. Um, Even the guy who did animated jazz, what's his name? He was Green Lantern in Justice League. Oh God, he was also the UPS guy in Mad TV. Someone help me out here. He did a good job though. Did a really good job. Phil Lamar. No one has said Phil Lamar yet. Okay, so I got it first. Phil Lamar. Phil Lamar is amazing. Phil Lamar like did a very good, like he was channeling Scatman there, like when he was talking with Sorry, like, "Oh, these humans, I really like their style. Did a great job. Did a great job. So I think it has nothing to do with that. I think it's just they know that they could always do well with jazz. Jazz always sells. So if you're going to put someone in a cartoon, put someone that needs that boost. You know what I mean? Josh was the first. Josh is the first with Phil Lamar. What else did Phil do? He did a lot of good stuff. I know him for Justice League and other stuff. But um but I don't know. I don't think it has something to do with the personality. Maybe it's a trademark thing too, because jazz is one of those tougher trademarks to like settle down. But look, it's never stopped them from doing the studio series movie Jazz. They did a jazz figure in Cyberverse. He wasn't a show character, but he had a Cyberverse toy. There's always jazz figures. Look, we got recently our Studio Series 86 Jazz. So I'm pretty sure we'll get more jazz. There's plenty of that jazz. Plenty of that for sure. Mike Rosen, I only have 3 animated figures: Lockdown, Swindle, and Skywarp. Well, Lockdown is probably the largest deluxe class you'll ever own in your life. He is huge. Every time I look at Lockdown, I'm like, Lockdown is taller. Lockdown is taller than the Voyagers that we have today, and he's a deluxe that was $10, which is crazy. Lockdown's a fantastically tooled figure. Swindle is fun too. He has a little pop out thing in his chest there, his little box. And Skywarp was a Target exclusive, so good on you to get one of the more tougher Seeker jets to get. You got one of the tougher ones. Remember when Jazz was voiced by a white guy in Fall of Cybertron? That I didn't know. I don't know who the voice actors were for Fall of Cybertron. No idea there. No idea. I'm pretty sure he was voiced by a white guy too in Battle to the Future, the Japanese PlayStation 2 G1 game. Because whoever voiced him, that was terrible. That might have even been a Japanese guy for all I know. Tom Laney, did he cry when Megatron pulled Jazz apart in the movie? You know what? I don't know. He was so when I went to see the 2007 movie for the first time, I had a special screening. I went with like 15 friends. Jaws D was there, a whole bunch of people, and Jaws D was 2 rows behind me because there was that many people with me that we went to see the movie. Um, but I do know that when the first time Blackout transformed, I remember hearing him by, oh, like just the sound, like, and then like he was like craziness, craziness, crazy stuff. But yeah, it was exciting back then. We know better now, but they're also releasing they're re-releasing the 2007 movie. They're re-releasing it. Okay, so we're gonna take a moment to open this. One second, let me get a swig of water here. How much time we got left? We got 30 minutes left. I don't want to miss my opportunity to open it for you guys, so grab a corner here. Get in there. All right, so who is it this time around? Who is it this time around? It is Trax. Nice. And it's funny because I haven't opened Road Rage yet, and now I got Trax. Nice. I actually didn't open Road Rage yet because I want to do a photo shoot with all the other Road Rages. I'm just waiting for that one. I have the masterpiece in the mail coming, hopefully. Um, Nice. Got tracks now. Good old tracks. Uh, Part of our next toy Armada coming up, actually. Tracks was talked about quite a bit because of licensing with Corvette. Actually, no Corvette license on this one. Just looking at the fine print. How they get away with it, I will never know. No Corvette license anywhere. Aaron, how do they get away with that? Because it's just not Corvette enough. Aaron, are you still there? How do they get away with that? Look at that. Goodness. That's crazy. Let me look at yeah, it doesn't have look, it doesn't not even on Road Rage. No Corvette license at all. Just the sea of text. And Quebec. Where's Quebec? Longueuil, Quebec. Montreal represent, yo. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Thank you again, Mikey and Louie. Now I got the red and blue. The red and blue team. Now I know what my photo shoot's gonna be this week. Mike Rosen, I like animated lockdowns. Alt mode looks like a Mad Max car. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what Aaron intended. Not Aaron. Derek Wyatt intended. 200%. I guarantee Derek Wyatt intended that to be like a Mad Max car with bad feet design. Does he have bad feet? You don't like the feet? Are you talking about this one or are you talking about Lockdown? I always hear like everyone's always saying it's the curse of Trax. Like Trax never gets a good toy. His original toy was kind of like the peak, and then his Generations one people didn't like because it was a short retool of Wheeljack, and then they didn't like the Masterpiece one, and now they don't like this one. Sideburn debacle. Where's Aaron? Is he in the? Is Aaron talking? I don't know. I don't. Oh, there he is. Eric made that guy. There. Oh, here we go. It must have been adjusted just enough, however, past the use of to make it hard for them not to pay. Well, there you go. The word of the mouth from Mr. Archer. Eric made that guy. Lockdown was all Eric. There we go. Eric Siebeneller, I would imagine, right? So there you go. There we go. My voice is super off now. You know what's weird? That's funny too. Last time in the chat around like the end of the stream, the voice started to go off. That's weird. Maybe when I go too long or something. Who knows? Let me know, guys, if it comes back, if it goes back to normal, because I'm still trying to tweak and figure out everything here. Now they're unsynced. No! What's going on? That's terrible. That's terrible. I'm going to have to figure it out. I'll figure out everything. Very weird. Very weird. Didn't do anything. Didn't touch anything. Didn't do anything. I guess when we go too long. When we go too long. No, two other people noticed it too. Interesting. Very weird. Where are the Nintendo gifts? We need to see those reactions. I'm going to be opening it up, Mikey. I'm going to open up the Bowser ship. The Bowser ship is the one I'm really looking forward to. I want to open up and build it. I've just been so busy this week. Super, super busy. It's been absolutely nutty. What was going on just leading up to my birthday and stuff, like just work, 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 and everything. But it is what it is. Such is life. Such is life. Wonder if there's a way to fix that. Let me see something, guys. Hold on. Let me see something. Let me tell me if this works. One sec. I'm gonna go to the. Let's come back. Let me know if that worked. I don't know. Maybe. If it worked, if it didn't work, I'm gonna have to figure out something. I wonder if it's the screen or if it's something. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna probably be moving all my streaming stuff to a new service anyway soon. So unsynced by a few seconds. That's terrible. Terrible. How do we fix that? I was talking faster than I move. I'm the Flash. Nope, didn't work. Oh well. We'll figure something out in the future. We'll figure something out. On June 1st, Transformer fans are going to break the internet with the leg. Oh my God, yeah. On June 1st, guys, just a reminder, and it's coming up, it's going to be on Wednesday coming up, is when the pre-orders for the Lego Optimus Prime go live. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, guys. It is going to be crazy. It is going to be absolutely crazy. Lego's website's probably going to crash. People are going to be angry. There's going to be scalping. It is going to be bananas. It is going to be absolutely bananas. Nah, I don't think it's because there's too many people. I think it's just the server. I think the server is getting bogged down. It happened last week too, around like the last like I think 10 minutes or so. It started to unsync badly. Subtitle Kung Fu movie. I love Jackie Chan Kung Fu movies. Um, it's like watching a bald guy move around and some other guy talking. I guess so. Moving too fast that the hair can't keep up. Either way, either way, I hope it isn't too bad, guys. I hope it isn't too bad, the quality. Oh, I have to figure it all out. Um, but yeah, going back to that Prime though, like if you're not interested in it, then you saved yourself the trouble. Then you saved yourself a lot of trouble because I'm telling you, it's the same thing when they did the Back to the Future reissue. I remember I had a friend that was like gunning for that, and he took time off work, and he still couldn't get through. Still couldn't get through. The website was crashed. People who did get it, there was people that they put it in the cart and they would go to check out, and by the time they checked out, it was already sold out. So like even if they like, oh, add to cart, put in your credit card information, they go to check out, sold out. It was crazy. It was so bad. I remember how pissed he was because he wanted to get that. It was so nuts. It was so nuts. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll call it quits early if it's that bad, the quality, and it's moving around where we only had 20 minutes left anyways. And I'll do the upload and I'll try to see what happened with everything. I feel like maybe I don't know, maybe like the bandwidth over to no, it's weird because the CPU is good, frame rate is good, everything is good. Very weird. Very, very weird. I have to get on top of that. You're gonna be seeing Top Gun tomorrow. I want to see it too. I want to see Maverick tomorrow. I want to have time to. And you know what's crazy? Because people are trying to watch the first Top Gun movie and they can't find it because they're smart. They made sure that I think the only place that you can watch it for free is Paramount Plus has it for free if you have Paramount Plus, but every other streaming service took it down because you can't see it. So you have to like I think maybe YouTube they probably have a rental service for it too. But to watch the original is tough now. Because they know that people want to watch the first one before they see the second, so there's money to be made. Good stuff. You're talking about Hercules in New York? That terrible movie. It's the second time I've talked about it this week. I was talking with a friend who was like, "What's the best Arnold Schwarzenegger movie and what's the worst?" And I'm like, "Probably Hercules in New York's the worst." They dubbed him. "How are you doing? My name is Hercules. I am very strong." Doesn't sound anything like him. Uh, but yeah, we'll call it quits for tonight. We'll call it quits early. So I just want to say again, thanks to all the sponsors and everything and all the cool people that came tonight. We'll call it quits early so everyone could kind of relax and go grab a bite and everything. I know that I'm going to go have some chicken upstairs, some nice chicken breast. Chicken breast and noodles. But again, thank you to my sponsors and everything. Again, Symbiote Studios for plush pins and t-shirts and delays. Nice delays of images, probably. Again, check out their t-shirts, check out their pins, check out their plush. Get yourself a Unicron. Why am I not centered on that? There we go. Get yourself a Unicron, a nice Unicron, or Magical Station down there, which I have to take a photo shoot of later this week. Um, But thanks again, everyone, for coming. Thanks for all the love and support. Thanks for everyone who signed up for Patreon just today for some reason. Um, awesome stuff. Again, thanks for everything. Again, if you want to support the podcast more, again, there's Patreon, there's the YouTube membership, there's YouTube thanks, there's super chats. There's many ways that you could support the podcast outside of just commenting, and subscribing. But again, thanks everyone. Thanks everyone who came, Aaron Archer, the crew, Josh Perez, everybody. Take care. We'll call it early tonight. And as always, take care of yourself. Be good to everybody. And I'm going to enjoy the rest of the birthday weekend. Take care and roll out.